I'm Nick.
I'm Jean-Luc,
And we're the Wellness Warriors.
also known as the WW Gays.
And today's another episode of
Have You Met
Carol?
Hi, Carol.
Hi guys.
You.
I'm really great. Thank you for asking me to do this. This is such an honor.
You know what? Can I say something? This is really funny because we've seen you. This is normal for us. We've actually never met Carol in person before. And so seeing you in a little box on an iPad or on a computer is normal to us. But I think this is actually going to be the first time that we've actually had a one-on-one conversation with you.
It's also one of the she's not walking.
She's not moving.
Walking queen.
Walking
Yeah.
all the time.
I thought I would devote my attention to you guys and the chat here instead of being so mobile.
We love when we see you walking though, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's start off. Why don't you introduce yourself and give us a little bit of history about, where you started and to where you are now. Just a little history of your journey.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Carol. I'm from Oakville, originally born and raised in Winnipeg. So that's my hometown. I joined WW in 2011, actually March 3rd. So next week will be my official 10-year anniversary by joining it the first time. This is my third, maybe fourth journey. So I'm a frequent flyer. And so I was on WW initially for 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I had reached 97 pounds loss. I say released because my friend Janine from my Oakville workshop, she always said released because lost implies you want to find it and I don't want to find it. So I had released, yeah, exactly. So I had released about 97 pounds and then, you get into that mindset where, oh, I've got this figured out. I can do this on my own. And so I went off for a little while. In 2015, I was on a cruise and I had a seizure. And I came home and it was figured that it was heat stroke. All my tests were normal and whatnot. I rejoined WW later on in 2015, and I had gained 50 pounds back of the 97 that I had lost initially. So from there, I was I was back on track. In 2018, I was diagnosed with epilepsy after having another seizure. Later on in 2018, I was in a car accident while having a seizure, and that really set me back. Health-wise, really got me off WW. I struggled a lot with just being diagnosed with epilepsy at later in life. I always thought it was something you had as a child, and it was something that you had these convulsive seizures. That's not how mine is. So it took a real toll on me mentally. And so I was off WW for a while I recovered after the car accident. And I joined back in June of 2019. At that point, I was down 68 pounds. So I had still lost a little bit from my initial gain. So in March of last year, COVID happened, right? And so what do you do? But I found that I connected with you guys. I got more into the social media because I wasn't big into social media, but I got into the workshops. I was down 84 pounds. And I just kind of had nothing else to do but to focus on getting healthy. So I don't like being grateful to COVID for what it's given me, but it's given me a lot last year. I always try to look at the positive.
Yeah. It's a silver. Like we've told a lot of people, like as much as this time has been trying,
We're not gonna lie, COVID sucks, but so much came out of it at the same time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's my kind of my WW journey. In August of 2020, August 30th, I reached 100 pounds released. And so that was a pretty big moment. And on January 24th, pardon me?
We remember that moment.
Oh, yes. I did share it with you guys. Absolutely. And on January 24th, last month, I reached goal. So I'm in maintenance right now. Tomorrow will be week 5 of maintenance. So one more week left.
That's amazing.
So when we do have our interview tomorrow on our fireside chats, you will be at Lifetime at that point.
You'll already be at Lifetime.
You'll be at Lifetime at that point.
I love it.
Yes,
So
yes,
exciting.
yes.
That is, you know what? I think it's fantastic. And I'll be honest, I remember you mentioning that you do suffer from seizures, but I did not realize that you found this out throughout your journey and it wasn't something that you already knew previously. Yeah. So I can only imagine how much of a shock that was to your whole entire being.
Which changes who you are as a person, because now you always worry that it might happen again, I'm assuming, right? It's probably something that always in the back of your head.
Absolutely. I was 2 years seizure free, and also when you have a seizure, it does definitely plays with your emotions. The stress and anxiety really was overwhelming. It's something that I've struggled for the last couple years since the accident, and I did have another seizure in December. So it's kind of re-triggered some of that maybe post-traumatic stress that was related, because it was the first time since the car accident. And I can't drive as well. So that does take a lot of, you have to go 6 months seizure free to get your license back. So I'm on that journey now. But that's your independence, because I'm quite independent. I'm single, but now I kind of depend on my family, my parents, my friends, just to go to a doctor's appointment or just to go to work. So it's definitely a challenge, but I'm getting there. This community has been a lifeline for me, especially in the last few months, because the support from my fellow members, my friends that I've developed, going to workshop is like therapy for me. It's a positive place, and it really helps.
What's funny is that everything you just said there kind of leads into the next question. Why did you choose WW? kind of explain.
But it's funny. I'd like to see, if you can, tell us why you picked WW 10 years ago, and then now why you came back to WW, if you could.
Well, I think when I initially, I had weight to lose. There's no questioning that. I was always overweight as a teenager. I was bullied in junior high. And
you're starting, do you mind mentioning your starting?
My starting weight was 274. And 274 or 276. So about that, yeah. And
how much I weighed.
I know. Oh, it's and I think back to that, and it seems so long ago, but I still see that person in the mirror, and I know a lot of people have that same challenge, and it's hard. It's hard not to see the fat girl in the mirror, and I'm getting better, but yeah. So I knew it was a program that worked. My doctor is a big fan of WW, so she's seen me over the course of the journey, and she's even said, like, Carol, wow. So, and it's proof that it works.
Non-scale victory right
when
there.
Your doctor says, wow, you write it down in a book and you're like, yeah, my doctor is on my side for this. So that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, actually.
And so for you, in a sense, going back to WW was just the natural thing to do because you knew it worked.
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of like us. It's a very parallel, similar to you. And what's funny is that your start date, March 2011, ours is May 2011. So we're literally almost like anniversary twins. We can celebrate 10 years together.
WW anniversary twins.
Like our 10-year anniversary.
We're a month apart.
It's so great. Yeah, that's awesome.
So let's go to the next question then. So tell us what you learned about yourself during this journey.
I think the biggest thing I've learned, especially in the last year, is that it's not a race. You know, when you first join, you think, oh, I'll lose this weight in no time. It'll be like so easy. You just eat good, you exercise, it'll happen, right? And then you get to places like I did, and you lose a lot or release a lot, and then you think you have it under control, and then you don't. And then health issues come into play, or emotional issues come into play, and you can't foresee, and COVID happens, right? So it's things that are unpredictable that you can never foresee. So I always tell people, don't give up. And that's what I learned, is not to give up on myself. And it's funny, I have this little stick, I don't know if you can see it. My first WW coach, Kathy, gave this to me it'll be 10 years in the summer. And it's a popsicle stick. And she gave it to everybody in the studio that day. And it says, stick to it, like TUIT. And it's a popsicle. And she passed them out to everyone. And everybody was like, what is that? And we're looking at it. And she's like, what does it say? And we're like, to it, what, to, and so she's like, stick to it. And so I have this by my bed. And I still keep it 10 years, almost 10 years later. It's a reminder that you have to stick to it. You're worth it. And I also keep this beside my bed. It's my keychain with all the charms. And so I've learned that, I've learned that I'm worth it. It's just, you just have to give yourself the time, and I'm a proud Turtle Club member.
And I want to say something else that I think you've probably learned from this journey, is to speak up and to be active and to be included and participate. Because I know one of the things you shared with us at the beginning of your journey, when you first started meeting us in the virtuals, you didn't talk much in virtual workshops. You were very quiet. And I think you said you didn't turn on your cam at the beginning. You were actually off camera at the beginning. You first started, and eventually you started turning that on. So I think that right there is another major change in who you are. Just the fact that you're here right now with us doing this interview is a huge change in your own personal growth and journey.
Hello, NSV, stepping into something that's not comfortable and then eventually making it comfortable. And when you put it so well, that making people realize that this is not a race. And I love how you said that. Those words are just really impacted me, is because we're in such a hurry to get things done and over, because we need to have things done right away. And you know what? It's great when you have that for objectives, for goals and projects as far as work-wise, or, there's timelines. But when it comes to your health, if you rush through it, sometimes you miss a lot of important steps along the way.
And the stress of rushing yourself and being that stressor, they say stress is one of the worst things for your health. So if you're stressing yourself out because you want to lose so fast, I think that's probably a detriment to your own health. You're actually not doing something that's even better for yourself. And I actually think also a lot of times when we do these quick, fast drop weight losses, sometimes that's not good for your body because your body can adjust. So the slow, steady race is probably always the best way to do it anyways. And I wish people would realize that a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. So we all know what the WW pillars are. We know that we have food, we have mindset, we have activity, and sleep. Sleep was just added in 2020, which is a great pillar to add. We love the fact that they added.
Absolutely.
Agree.
And out of those 4 pillars, what was the hardest pillar for you to overcome?
Sleep is, to this day, I'm glad they added it, because sleep is a huge challenge for me. And I have an accountability. My friend Arlene from Ottawa, that's another benefit I've had this year, is getting to know her. So she's my accountability buddy and a dear friend. And we were talking the other day, and we check in with each other every day by text. We talk once a week on FaceTime, and we never talk about food or exercise that often, but we do talk about mindset and sleep. So those are the two things that I struggle with, that I share with her a lot, because if you don't get yourself into the right mentality, it could be very detrimental, and mental health is extremely tricky and complicated. And it's nice to be able to talk to someone that is on a same program, that understands what you're going through, mental challenges that sometimes come into play. But sleep is definitely a huge factor for me. I have a mind that does not shut off. I'm a constant worrier. I'm always thinking, what if? And so I've turned to meditation. I've tried some things. I'm getting a little bit better, but it's a very slow process. But it's definitely something that I still struggle with.
But you know what? You just said something right there. You said, this whole sleep pillar is a struggle for me. And I'm doing things to slowly make the changes and make the habits. And you already figured that out with food and activity. So that's why you're not free. You did those slow and steady, and look where you are, 100 down, almost at lifetime. So now you have the time to focus on the other pillars without thinking you have to tackle all four at the same time.
Because I'll tell you this, as two guys who are already at lifetime, we still struggle sometimes with the sleep pillar. We sometimes, activity is the least, that's the easiest one for us.
Oddly enough.
That's the easiest one for us. We activities, bar none, the easiest one. Mindset's number 2 for us now. We figured that out. Food is also easy. Sleep right now is tough. Like, sleep is the one that we like. We're busy. We like staying up late. We like doing things. And so that's what ends up. And I think you probably are the same. I lie down in bed and think of every outcome of every scenario that's going on in my life. I think about, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I can't shut my brain off. So I understand what you go through when you fall asleep.
And for me, it's a little different. It's the FOMO, the fear of missing out. I hate not knowing what's going to happen if I'm with people. Like, it's so silly. Even at home alone, it's like, why am I staying up so late when I don't need to be? There's no one here except for him.
When we go on cruises, I know to expect to go to bed alone, because Jean-Luc will be up very late into the night, sometimes till 6 a.m. He does not want to be the last one. He doesn't want to be the last one.
I don't want to be the first one awake.
He wants to be up till everybody else goes to bed. And that's one of his issues. So sleep, I think, is something that we always have to work on. I think no matter what, and the fact that you're actually looking into your sleep patterns and trying to find ways, that's what this program is about. It's about identifying where you're having issues and then see, how can I work with that habit and try to improve it or make better choices with it. So I love that you share that.
So since we talked about the most difficult pillar, unless you have anything else you wanted to add to that, please.
No, not at all. No.
Excellent. So since we talked about the most difficult pillar for you to overcome, what's been the easiest pillar for you to overcome?
I definitely food and activity. Funny enough, I'm a religious tracker, and so if I've eaten a bag of something that I shouldn't have, it it goes into my tracker. Because when I step on the scale doesn't lie.
The entire
why? Well, yeah. I ate not that long ago a bag of veggie crisps. I can't remember what it was, 24 points in a day. But I mean, it is what it is. And the scale doesn't bother me. I've gotten way over that. If I'm up, I've tracked, I know what I've done right or wrong. And activity is pretty good now. I thought when COVID happened, because I did go to the gym, I thought, what am I going to do? Because I don't have a bike. I didn't really walk that much outside. But funny enough, it's because of you guys. I followed you guys doing a body. I would follow you guys on Facebook Live doing a body. So I'd hear Antonetta's voice, but I'd follow you guys. And then when you guys stopped doing and moving on to other things, I again was in touch with Casey and Joe, because I had connected with them because of you guys. And Casey was the one that really encouraged me to reach out to Antonetta. because she's like, you know what, you don't have, because I said, I don't want to have the camera on in my house while I work out. And she's like, you don't need to, just reach out to Antoinetta. So I did. She responded immediately. I didn't have my camera on for a long time. And then I'm like, what am I hiding from? And again, I've connected with people through there. Arlene and I wave every day and blow kisses to each other. That's our routine. And I know people now that I would never have known otherwise. And she's part of my daily routine. I just love her energy. If I'm not feeling great, I know what it feels like if I don't do a body. So it's the motivation I need. And I do a lot more walking and a lot more challenges with people on other WW workshops, like ab challenges and stuff. So activity is not a challenge for me anymore.
So I did have a question in addition then. So but your first pillar that you conquered was food, and then activity was the second one you feel you conquered.
Yes.
The third one would be mindset, would be the next one in order. And then the last one is sleep for you in that order. That's very interesting. Funny, because it's very similar to ours. It's very similar to ours. Ours was actually, I think we flipped food and activity. We figured out activity a long time ago. We knew, like when we were doing a stair climber, you figured that out years ago.
I figured out stair climber when I lost the first.
We knew how to be active. It was the food we couldn't figure out because we had a hard time figuring out that it was not for, it was forever.
And it was an all or nothing on, we couldn't have these things because we were on WW. And we would say WW, but it was a diet back then because we treated it as a diet.
So when we tackle that second, then mindset came, and then sleep is the one we're still working on too. So it's kind of funny that it's a very similar parallel, but for you it's food and activity switched. You needed more time to figure that one out.
And I also think one of the things that we, and you probably don't even realize this, maybe you might have, is how that mindset pillar almost infiltrates every single one of these pillars in my thought. And yes, all the pillars contaminate each other.
It's like almost like,
but that mindset is the one that really intertwines them all even more so. Yeah, it's that wire, it's that thread that holds them together. Because if you don't apply mindset to all four pillars, that's when I think
you have to apply
mindset to mindset.
Yeah, and I don't find, at least now, I don't find I emotionally eat. I think maybe back in the day I did, not so much. But I find that because I suffer from anxiety and depression, that my doctor always stressed, Carol, keep active. And getting back to a body, like I know how that makes me feel, and it makes my mind, it gets my mindset in a much healthier place if I do work out.
And it's better to crave activity than to go on a craving binge with food. So that's I love that. And
I love that you shared that. So can you reiterate, re-talk about that again, the whole anxiety and depression? Because I suffer with it too. And I'm exact same. What does it do to you when you actually do activity? When you get your activity in every day, what does it do to your mindset, as opposed to the days you don't do it? Because I want you to share that, because I feel it's probably similar to what I go through. So I want to hear what you.
It definitely takes me out of that dark place, because it can be a very dark place, and I don't find I have it conquered. It's still something I struggle with, but I know that I feel so much better. And even when I do my workshops and I walk at the workshops, because that's a ritual I do at every single workshop. And I know you guys know that when you see me. And when people send me messages saying that they walk at workshops now because they see me walking at workshops, or a coach that doesn't know me will say, "Oh, are you walking?" And some people that I don't even know say, "Carol always walks. She's always moving at the workshops." And these are people that don't even know me, but they see me at the workshop. So that's also, yes.
They know you now.
So that's a good feeling. So that also helps my mindset, and it brings me into a better, more positive way of thinking.
I get the whole dark hole. It's definitely for me too. If I skip too many days of no activity, I go right back to that same dark place. And so for the two of us, it's a constant thing. That's one of the reasons why activity is such a big, important part of our life, and why we found an activity that we love.
Definitely. You always have to find what you love, and that's in every single part of the journey.
walking queen.
Yeah. You know what?
I wear that title with pride. I wear it with pride.
We'll have t-shirts made. T-shirts made. Carol, the walking queen.
The next question I want to ask you, Carol, is does your why still help you today? I know you didn't really go into the exact why reason you started, so maybe you can tell us what your why is, and then if it's still relevant today for you, if it's changed.
It's changed actually, because I think I didn't have any glamorous why when I joined. It was to lose weight and to fit into smaller clothes. It was just, I just wanted to lose weight. That was it. It wasn't anything fancy. But as time has progressed, and especially last year, my why has become me, myself, and I. I need to be healthy for me, myself, and I. I can't do it. If I can't be healthy for myself, I can't help anyone else. So I want to be able to help my parents as they get older. And but if I'm not healthy, I'm no good to anyone else. And I deserve to do that for myself. So my why now has changed, and it's me, myself, and I. That's why I do it. I just want to be stronger for myself. I want to be healthier for myself. And I just want to be able to move better for myself.
I love that you took a saying like me, myself, and I, which a lot of people would look at as being a negative thing to say. Oh, it's all about you. But no, and you've turned that into a positive thing. And that is beautiful, Carol. That's absolutely amazing, because a lot of times we are the hardest on ourselves and we don't put our first. Yeah.
Exactly. And also I know so many people have talked about this, is that self-care is not selfish. So that's why being healthy for myself isn't selfish, because if I'm healthier for myself, I'm going to be a lot more helpful to other people.
And they say it on planes, oxygen mask on yourself first for anyone else. And we said this before, if you're not healthy to help people, how will you help them? And that's the key. And I think a lot of people think that, oh, I hate to do everything for my kids, I can't take care of myself. But if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of your kids forever. And I think that's the thing, where a lot of us are about the moment now, but you're investing in your future. The choices you make today, the foods, the activity, the mindset tricks, everything you're doing today is you're basically putting money into a bank account that you're going to use later on. You know,
it's your savings.
It's your savings account, so that things can happen, of course, but things can happen in life too. You can put money in stocks and it could crash and you can lose everything. So it's the same thing. You're investing in yourself with the hopes that in the future you'll be able to use this investment into the longer term, into the end of your life. Yeah. And so you have to do that investment now. Otherwise, you'll miss the boat, basically.
All right. And you know what? I might steal that from you. My why is me, myself, and I.
So the last question, Carol, is who or what inspires you?
Honestly, this whole community, it inspires me. I feel so fortunate to be a part of a community that is extremely supportive, positive, no judgment. You guys inspire me. Antoinetta inspires me. All my fellow Arlene, everybody on here, Casey, Joe, I can name so many people, people that send me private messages that I've never met, that have told me I inspire them. And I have friends like Marjorie on a body that, like, she always tells me how she loves seeing my smile, Brenda too, at classes. And it's really nice to think that I make a difference to them. And if only they knew what a difference they make to me. It's a pretty special.
They will know now. They're watching right now.
And I mean, there's so many of them. Like, I can't even mention everybody by name, but it's really the people, the coaches. It's an amazing group to be a part of. It's just pretty special.
I couldn't agree more,
and
Carol.
We're so glad you're part of it.
Yeah, I think honestly, you bring something to the community, and you don't even know what you bring to this community. And the fact that you've come out of your shell.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That you've come out of your shell from where you were when we first heard about you in March of 2020 to now. Yeah. You've evolved so much, and I only hope you can be as proud of yourself as so many other people are proud of you as well. Like we see the smile you bring, and it's so true. Your smile is infectious.
And we see you when you join workshops in our
Oh, yeah.
we see the back and
We know you guys are talking.
So thank you so much, Carol, for joining us for the interview today. If you guys, if you guys enjoyed this interview, please hit the like button below. Please subscribe to our channel. Carol's going to be with us tomorrow night on our fireside chat. So if you have more questions about her journey, if you want,
she's really stepping outside of her comfort zone. She's hosting the show with us.
Guest host. So thanks so much, Carol.
Thank you, guys. This is an honor. I'm so flattered.
Likewise.
Thank you.
We're in presence of royalty here.
Yeah,
she's the queen.
She's the queen. Have a great one.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.
And don't forget, you can find us on using @the WW Gays on all social media.
And our website, wgays.com.
Bye, everybody.